So thank you, everybody. My name is Norma Velazquez, and I'm at Lewis and Clark College. And I'm going to be talking about a course that we developed as part of our new curriculum in the biology major. Lewis and Clark is a small liberal arts college located in Portland, Oregon, so we're pretty tiny. 2,000 undergraduates total. And then the biology major, even though it's the second or third largest major at the college, it's compared to some of the schools that are presenting today, we're really small. So our graduating seniors are going to be 60, and that's like gigantic for us, just to give you an idea. But the main thing in the biology curriculum at Lewis and Clark is that we have this philosophy that the students learn science by doing science. So we have a lot of opportunities for experiential learning. And when we changed our curriculum for the whole major in 2019, this was our guiding factor. So out of that came a change in our introductory curriculum. And the course that I'm going to be mostly talking about today is the first one in the intro biology curriculum, Bio110. That is followed by two. This is a lab course. And this connected to what we were saying at the beginning, the keynote speaker of recognizing credit-wise lab experiences. This is a 4-credit course. It is a lab course, but we treat it as a lecture that just happens to have 70% of lab. And then we have 2 lecture courses, Bio 201 and Bio 202, that are based on core concepts from the Vision and Change framework. So this is the first, so Bio 110 is the first lab in the intro series. Students first semester of college, many of them, that's when they take it, or maybe second semester of college. We do have a few sophomores that take the course, but it's mostly first years. So and then in the curriculum, the bio curriculum, then we have 4 additional required lab experiences, so lab courses, and then 2 more that have to be completed for the major. That can be labs or no labs. So for us, this Bio 110 lab experience is really, really crucial for the students. Each section has 24 student cap, and we normally run between 3 and 4 sections of the course each semester. It is mostly taken by majors, but we also have students that are taking it for non-general education, natural sciences requirement of general education, and also for students going on to other majors like the neuroscience minor or the biochemistry molecular biology program. And of course for pre-med, no matter what kind of major they're gonna have. So as I said, it's a lab course, and it does have some lecture time somewhere in between. And all sections, we started with different models. Like the one that I thought made 3 hours for just once a week. That for first years, we noticed that was not enough contact. So we all settled recently on having it be a 1.5 hour, twice a week format for all the sections that we teach. But what makes this course a little interesting is that we each teach what we want. So we have some commonality that I'll talk about, but the research is based on the interest and the expertise of each professor. So we do have the common factors of all sections include a lab manual that was created specifically for this course and was mirrored or based on Grinnell College's first semester biology experience. We update it every year. We also have a common textbook that is based about, it's called The Story of Life by Sean Carroll, and we use it to put science more in the context of there's people that do this research. So it's our way to bring science and society into the course. We also have a section on data analysis and introduction to R for this course. And we also have all the sections, no matter which topic we may be teaching, we include reading a paper, a scientific paper. But most of it is about the process of science through carrying out 1 to 3 different investigations, and different professors take a different approach to that. So some do establish cures like Tiny Earth. I do the GEP, Genomic Education Partnership, and another one called FlyCure. And then other professors do their own research, and other professors do inquiry-based projects. So the kinds of assessments that we use, we use the Gen Biomap survey to assess the curriculum as a whole. So we do that. This is a survey that all Bio110 students take at the beginning of the course, and then we give that again to seniors that are graduating. And we have just completed like the first, I think we just have data for the first set of students that completed the whole thing. So we're hoping to collect a few more years of data to see how this new curriculum is working for our students. What we have seen, and I didn't put this, or maybe before I go to that one, anecdotally, is that the students are liking this kind of course, and we are getting more majors. So we used to have a sequence that was unintentionally a bottleneck for students. We lost a lot of students through our 3-course series the way we had it before. And then with this new curriculum, we found more students progressing and wanting to be biology majors. For assessments across all sections, we have reading checks, so these pre-labs from the textbook and the lab manual. We also have assignments related to R, but they're mostly graded on completion. We don't expect them to be experts in R, it's more like a familiarity with it so that they're not scared of it. And then we do have midterms. That's required of all sections to have a midterm and a final exam in which we ask about the process of science, every single section, data interpretation, and then content specific to each section. And we all include some form, of course, of group evaluation, either as a survey or as a statement of contribution or both. The other thing for evaluating the science projects, these are all different. I do genetic, I could be doing bioinformatic gene annotation. My colleague might be doing ecology IV survey, or other person is finding microbes in the soil that may have antibiotic resistance. So we have totally different projects. So the way that we agree to make it somewhat consistent is to base it on science communication, lab notebook checks, and data checks. We have rubrics. We each have developed rubrics to assess all of this. And students get feedback once or twice or 3 times throughout the semester on the same thing, the lab notebook check, multiple checks, data checks, multiple checks, so that they can make it better. We have written reports. We have them write a scientific manuscript that is required for all of the sections. At least one of the projects needs to be submitted as a report in that style. And then we also have this idea of the figure and figure caption or figure legend as a stepping stone to get to writing a scientific manuscript. We have oral presentations as a second form of communication for one of the second projects. Most of us do an independent project, we call it, at the end, which is not fully independent, like one of the ones that was presented. We usually have them do a variation on a project that they already worked on. So there's some parameters to make it more doable, because we don't have a lot of support in terms of like lab technicians or anything like that. It's just me. So that limits the amount of work that I can manage. We have electronic notebooks. That's something that we have started switching towards. We used to have paper notebooks, and since the pandemic, we've done electronic. And some of us do group lab notebooks, and some of us do individual. So that's still something that hasn't been completely standardized. And we also make sure for the data checks that the data that was collected is appropriately collected, that somebody else coming from the outside would be able to understand what the data set is about. So some challenges is mostly in the grading group projects and knowing exactly what each individual actually did. So that's come up a few times in these presentations. And the other problem that we are running into is that multiple professors have started developing these Bio110 classes over years. So we have not standardized our grading scheme. So we all do midterms, but maybe mine is 30 points and somebody else's is a different number of points. So we haven't figured that one out. And We each give our students additional assignments. So we don't know exactly how that ends up panning out in terms of the learning experience. So we haven't worked that out. So some opportunities is that we are planning to have a summit of the professors that are teaching in this course to try to sort through some of these issues that we have identified. And we have conversations of trying, we might be trying to do too much in this course. So I think it's time for us to really think back to our learning objectives and figure out what we can do really, really well in this course and what are some skills and things that we might lead to the upper division labs. So that's all I have for you. I'm happy to talk more about any specific assignments or how we have structured our curriculum as people want to know. And I just want to acknowledge everybody in the biology department. It took us several years of discussions to come up with our current curriculum. We're really happy with this Bio110 course as a way to introduce our students to the process of science. Thank you.